Hey everyone, Fulza here. Today, I'll be covering the Irelia matchup. In my opinion, Irelia is a much easier combination of the Fiora plus Darius matchups. She has a worse riposte, which we'll have to work around, but she's similar to Darius in that you can only really look for kills when she makes a misplay. Most guides and win rates show that Garen is favored, and this is because Irelia is much more susceptible to making mistakes than Darius because her kit is more mechanically intensive and one messed up Q could get her killed. An Irelia player playing perfectly will never lose to the best Garen. If she gets the wave near her tower, she can run you down with her stacked passive by correctly auto-spacing, and she can easily heal up after trades by killing waves with Vam Scepter / finished Bork. Her damage also spikes to incredibly high levels at Bork, and you must be much more careful at that point. For these reasons, I like to keep the wave near my tower so I can take short trades and not have to fear her winning an extended trade because I can always back off to under tower. The most common misplays we'll be looking for to capitalize off of are her wasting W, not using W on your Q, not resetting her Q, missing her E, and not having a way to get to max passive stacks before a trade. It's quite hard for her to miss R, but because I build Gale Force, I usually have an easy way to dodge it. I do also use First Strike, which is the worst rune for lane phase, meaning that if I can reliably win with that rune, you should not have any problems if you take Conqueror or Phase Rush. Phase Rush will allow you to be a little bit more aggressive when your wave is not in your tower, as you can always outrun her even if she has full stacks, and Conqueror will allow you to take better trades early game for easier kills. The Powerspikes you want to watch out for are her level 1 full passive stacks from triple queuing the first melee minions and then getting the final stack from queuing you, Recurve Bow, as this allows her to W the caster minions and then one-shot them with Q, level 6, where she unlocks her ultimate, and when she finishes Bork. Now, let's get into the example game. This game is against a 300 LP Irelia main. Because we are in relatively high elo, she won't make as many mistakes as a plat or gold Irelia would, so while I capitalize on the small number of mistakes she makes, if you are in lower elo, you should be able to generate a larger lead than I do in this game by capitalizing on the higher number of mistakes the enemy Irelia will make, which is why it's important to understand the enemy champ and know when a mistake has been made. Level 1, I noticed that she doesn't queue the first minion, which allows me to go for a trade because she no longer has enough targets to fully stack her passive. Then we just back off, keep our spacing here so we don't take a bad trade, and now that the wave is near our tower, if she walks up we can look for short trades because we can always just back off to our tower. So yep, here we go, just going for little Q trades, E when it's up, and then just not taking too much damage. And then here she cheater recalls, I noticed that, and this is actually really bad for her in my opinion because it allows me to push in this wave, and so she backs right now with 300 gold or 350 gold and she comes back with a longsword or a dagger, right? But then because she does that, she gives me lane prio, and now I can slow push these next two waves and then take a better cheater recall for myself and buy more items. This is why I don't really like early cheater recalls, because I think in my opinion, at least for top lane, it just lets the enemy take a better cheater recall right after you get back to lane. Here's another example of me being unafraid to take a trade because we're near the tower. So this trade ends up being even for us, but if we did continue this trade because she has full passive stacks plus Conqueror, we 100% lose overall. So here I misplay. I didn't realize she was getting 6 off that minion, so I do get killed, but I do pull out the 1-for-1, so it ends up not being too bad for me. Yep, just back to laning. Just now the cycle of shoving, backing, some random stuff happens, we kill a Viego. I don't get a kill though, so it doesn't really affect my lane state at all. Okay, get back to lane. Waves on my side, so it's gonna push to her, which I don't want. Luckily here she kind of shoves forward a little bit, so it ends up being okay. Here we dodge that, and we start setting up a kill with these little Q trades, right? So every time she Qs forward for a minion, we just try to hit her with that Q to just chunk her out a little bit. Another one there. and right here is her Misplay. So she Qs this minion and inadvertently takes a tower shot, and because of that, I know that I can execute the kill. And those are just like those little moments that you have to look out for where I know she made a mistake like that, and then I'm going to capitalize on it, and I'm going to get my lead off that. Back to laning. Nilly comes top, but she doesn't do anything, so that doesn't matter either. I'm close to 11 here, so I proxy to get it, and now I can act really, really aggressive. Level 11 is a huge power spike for Garen, so I'm going to play really, really aggressive there. I have the Gale Force, so I'm able to dodge her ult, which is huge. And now I have Flash, I have Ignite, I have rank 2 ultimate, and I'm going to look for a kill here. So here she W's my Q, which allows her to live. If I ult there, it might kill, I'm not sure. Viego comes top, pushes me under. I end up dying here. I kind of go in, which is a little bit greedy. It was a bit unlucky though. We lived on 11 HP. We die instead of getting, instead of possibly getting 2 for 0, maybe 1 for 1. But that doesn't really matter. If she doesn't come, we probably solo kill Irelia another time. But I mean, in the end, every game's different. There's gonna be different situations. In a different world, we get another solo kill there. In a different world, Irelia makes more mistakes and we kill her more times. In a different world, Irelia doesn't make any mistakes and we just die and nothing else happens, you know? So, I mean, every game's different. That's why there's not really an easy way to, like, just say, do this or do that. Because every Irelia player is going to play differently, and you just have to go off of general things and, like, look for general mistakes. But that's it, boys. Thanks for coming. Have a good night. It's 6:01 a.m. right now, and I have class at 7, so I'm going to sleep for the next half hour. Have a good night, boys. I'll see you when I see you. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments on Reddit, Discord, or Twitch.